Welcome to the Raceroom Amateur Experience. I'm Jod, and today we're going to be driving the good old Bentley GT3 car, this time at Daytona. So this was one of the short midweek races, following up to the weekend's 2.4 hour race, but this is only 15 minutes. And we've got a rolling start here at Daytona. The lights go green.
That's 15 minutes.
Now, we qualified in the midfield somewhere, sort of towards the back end of the midfield. But we'll see what we can do. There's quite a big gaggle of cars at T1. Like normal, we're just going to try and keep lap 1 nice and safe. Well, there's a Bentley in front of us, fellow Bentley and a Bimmer, and what a contact there, and that's just going to let us slide up the inside of that Merc. And with the straight line speed of the Bentley, we can manage to pull ahead. So we made a position up just by being a bit opportunistic there. Where I will take it, and then we'll see what happens as we come on to back onto the oval section, out of the infield section. Now this Merc behind me seems a lot later on the brakes than me, but I have a lot of straight line speed, so it does turn into quite an interesting battle, as you'll see in a little bit. But for now we're just going to try and focus on getting this first lap done without any incidents or anything like that. Cars in front going side by side. I've very quickly learned that's not a great idea in this corner. There's again the Merc behind a lot later on the brakes, but as soon as we get to the straight we just pull ahead, and because the two cars in front were going side by side, that's got us a little bit closer, and with the just sheer straight line speed of the Bentley, we're going to see if we can tuck into the slipstream. And as we come up to T1, we've just got so much more speed. We're going to see about making the move on
left side, clear left.
The newer Bentley, the Bentley Evo that is, but there's just no space really there. It holds the inside well. But again, it seems this older Bentley has a lot more straight line speed than even the newer Bentley as well, so we just have to back off a bit there, because we nearly went into the back of him. But there we go, lap 1 over and done with nice and safely. Now we're going to skip forward now to the next lap, and this Merc behind was still all over the back of me, so we had to go a little bit defensive, and that's sort of let the cars ahead pull ahead a little bit. As we're in the infield section, coming up to this tight right-hander, I'm just going to try cover the inside. He goes for a bit of a switcheroo, but he doesn't quite get the exit speed there. As we brake for the turn back onto the oval section. Again, a lot later on the brakes, but they seem to get the better exit. Gonna get the better speed, as the crew chief is a little bit rude about the Merc behind. But that is just crew chief for you. He can be quite a rude chap sometimes when he feels like it. Right, coming into this chicane, I think it's called the bus stop. I don't really know any of the corners around here. Look how much it closes up in the mirror in that corner. It really closes the gap around there, so I'm not sure. I don't think I was taking that corner correctly. I've never raced at Daytona before, so it was very new to me. As we come over to the start-finish straight. Now, even though we're quicker, he is going to have the slipstream, but even so, you can see he's still struggling to keep up, even with the slipstream. Such is the straight line speed of the Bentley, or Boatley, if you like. As we come into T1, it looks like there were a bit of contact up ahead. So, again, that's going to back those two guys up. There's the Merc there of Bernie Eccleston. Goes a little bit wide. I wondered what he were doing after his F1 days. It turns out he plays Raceroom. But again, in this infield section, we're still defending from the Merc. He closes up again in the braking zone, so we get a bit of a better exit out that corner this time. as we come onto the turn, back onto the oval again. Again, closing up in the braking zone, but we managed to hold on and get the exit. And yeah, we're just going to try and use a straight line speed now to pull ahead. We need as much as a gap as we can, because that Merc seems so much later on the brakes. We might be picking up a little bit of tow from the car ahead. I'm not sure if the gap's a bit too big or not. But here we are then, braking for the chicane, and the Merc's had enough of me, and he just decides to pump me off. I try to save it, and then he just finishes the job. So, bit naughty from the Merc there. He should have really backed off. He didn't really have any reason to go for that move. We were nowhere near alongside each other, and he just rammed my rear wheel to get me back off. It's very frustrating, and it did take us a little bit of time to get back into the race. Now we've got another Merc and I believe a Ford GT ahead of us. Not often you see the Ford GT3, it's a lot of GTs, but I think it's one of the older GT3 cars that aren't quite as quick, but this driver managing to make it work as we pull onto the back of this Merc now, again with the overspeed of the Bentley. And I look towards the outside, see if we can get a move, but no, he's going to cover it off well. They both go a little bit wide there and nearly make contact. That's going to let me get a bit of a switchback move on this Merc. As we go side by side now, I'm ahead into the braking zone, but he sends it up the inside, and I think I was a little bit late on the brakes there. So the Merc regains the position there. I have a look up the inside, but it's never going to happen, so I just back off and tuck back in and wait for another opportunity to come. We don't have too much longer left, but I do want to get to the end of the race safely, if possible. So we're on the oval section now, coming into the chicane. Again, so much more speed, and I think the Merc had a bit of a moment. Looks like they lost the rear a little bit.
Clear left.
And yeah, going side by side into that corner never works. So we just concede the position again, which is very frustrating. But onto this long oval straight section now, whatever you want to call it. And again, the speed of the Bentley, we're just taking so much time out of this Merc on the straights. And by the time we even get to T1, we're already ahead. So now we've got one more lap. And can we chase the Ford GT down? Well, we didn't really need to, because
Right side, clear right.
Ford just sort of forgot there was a corner there and wanted to keep going on down the oval. It was a bit strange. Being blue flagged now as the prototype cars catch up, or a prototype car catches up. So the two cars behind actually gonna concede quite early. I'm gonna stick to my racing line just so I stay nice and predictable, and then the prototype goes up the inside. Doesn't cost me too much time on the corner exit, so that will pretty much play to perfection. And now we've got a bit of a gap to the two cars behind, and they're battling, so that played out really well for us. But in the end, that was the race. P6 I believe we finished overall. Could have been a P5, possibly P4 if we didn't get murdered, but that's just how it goes sometimes.
6th place.
Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit like, hit subscribe, I'd very much appreciate that. I have a Discord as well that's linked below. You're more than welcome to join, and I shall see you all in the next video. Take care.